Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to make oven chicken, and basically it's just chicken with really good skin. It's baked. I prefer thighs, so that's what we're going to use today. So I've got all my ingredients set up. Olive oil, it's key. Then you've got black pepper, garlic. This is paprika, we just took it out of the big bottle. Seasoned salt and Sazon. If you don't have Sazon, you can normally get it at Walmart now. If not, hit up the Mexican store. And we've got chicken thighs. So the first thing we're going to do, ladies, hair back. Nothing's worse than hair in your food. Ask your dad, he does not like it. Okay, hair back out of the way. We're going to start skin side down. Okay, so these are already defrosted. I just took them out of the package. You're going to lay them skin side down on your foil. I've already foiled my pan because the easiest thing to do is when you're done cooking, you just fold up your foil and you throw it in the garbage. So lay your chicken skin side down. Lay your skin out really well because you want your skin to be as exposed to the pan as you can get it so you get lots of good crispiness. Lay it all out there. Now, you also need to have a towel handy, which I don't have, because you don't want your greasy chicken fingers all over everything, okay? All right, olive oil comes first. Drizzle it on every piece of chicken. And you're going to come back with your little brush. If you don't have a brush, you can use a spoon or you can use your fingers. And just kind of make sure your olive oil is all over the chicken. It's going to help your seasoning stick to it, okay? So spread it all around. Now, it doesn't really matter what order you do your seasoning in, but I like to start with black pepper first. So you're going to be pretty liberal on the black pepper. If you want your food to taste like flavor, then you got to flavor all of it, not just parts. So pepper it up. Now a lot of the seasoning that you put on the bottom may cook off because as the grease drains off of the chicken or as the oil cooks off of the chicken, it's going to go to the bottom of the pan where the skin is or where the seasoning is. However, because it's on foil, it's going to stick back to your chicken. Okay, next up, garlic powder. You don't want a ton of this because you don't want your whole food to just taste like garlic. Paprika. I like paprika. I generally go a lot with paprika. Some people say it doesn't have flavor. I personally think it does. I think that's like some people have a flaw that they can't taste it. Your dad and I really like it. So, not that he eats this, but... And of course, the bad thing with these fancy little jars we got is that sometimes they get stuck and we don't want to come out. So, lots of paprika. Now the key to this chicken, Sazon, as much as you can get. Hold it, tear it across the top, and hold it kind of sideways in your hand. That way as you shake it back and forth, it goes across the chicken. So you're just seasoning up. It's probably going to take you at least 2 or 3 packs. Oops, I ripped that one open on the edge. We'll come back to it. But this seasoning is super, super cheap. So it's not something that you really worry about using a lot of because it's not a big expense. Like the cumin that your dad put in a salsa recipe is very expensive, so it kind of hurts a little bit more when you use a lot of that. All right, and then the last one is seasoned salt. Now, you don't want to use too much seasoned salt, i.e. the word salt. I like a lot of salt, but you still don't use a lot of it. So just a little sprinkle. Kind of brings out the flavor in the other spices. Now we're going to flip and we're going to repeat on the other side. I'm just going to show you one because the key here is to just make sure that your skin is covering the chicken and you get it good and fanned out, okay? And then you want to be a little more generous with your olive oil on top because you want to make sure that it covers all of it so that it gets good and crispy. Now I'm going to season these up and I'm going to come back to you in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so as you can see, I finished seasoning this side of the chicken. Notice I was very, very liberal with how much seasoning I put on it. As soon as I got done, I washed my hands, dried them off with a clean, different towel. This blue towel that you had, or at least that I had, that I was using while I was making the chicken is gross now. It needs to go immediately in the washer. You don't want to keep it laying around because you just got nasty chicken guts on it, okay? So before we started, I preheated the oven to 375. You're going to want to put your whole pan uncovered in the oven 375 for 45 minutes, okay? At the 45-minute mark, you're going to come check it. Now, the problem is there's no really great way to tell if your chicken's cooked unless you cut into it. You don't need to with chicken thighs. They cook pretty quickly and they'll cook really well at 375 in 45 minutes. When we get to 45 minutes, we're gonna bump the oven up to about 400, 410, depending on how hot your oven cooks. And you're gonna let it cook for another 15 minutes just to make sure that skin is good and crispy. I'll check back in with you in about 45 minutes and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so the timer just went off. We're gonna check the chicken. Now your dad's potatoes are in as well. But we're gonna check and see what our chicken looks like. This is about what you're looking for. See how it's beautifully done. However, if you touch the skin's still kind of mushy. So now we're gonna bump the temperature up. I'm gonna go, oops, well, maybe. I'm gonna go 415, and your dad's potatoes are fine. Instead of him putting his potatoes on broil, it's just gonna go up some degrees. So I'm gonna go on about 415, and I'm gonna let them cook about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna check them again. You don't have to keep coming back. You just check your potatoes and make sure that the skin is crispy. And then once you feel like it's the level of crispy that you want without it being burnt, you pull them out and they're ready to go. Enjoy, see you later.